Hello, and welcome to this recorded training on the Personal Health Record, or PHR, from the Minnesota Department of Human Services. My name is Joe Kalidas, and I will be your tour guide. This session describes how beneficiaries of services from the Minnesota Department of Human Services can get started and then use the PHR as often as you like. Thank you for participating in the initial demonstration rollout of the Relay Health Personal Health Record. We appreciate your willingness to help us apply technology for the benefit of recipients of long-term services and supports from the Minnesota Department of Human Services. This training document describes the process that beneficiaries will use for initial one-time registration and then for ongoing use of the Relay Health Personal Health Record from Minnesota DHS. The process for legal or authorized representatives of beneficiaries using the PHR on behalf of those beneficiaries is covered in a separate document. As you follow along, the section footers in this document identify first, beneficiary one-time registration, and next, beneficiary ongoing PHR usage. A note as we get started, for the use of the DHS Personal Health Record from a smartphone or other mobile device, there is not an app for this. The system works in Safari on the iPhone or any other browser on a smartphone or mobile device. Navigation is different due to the smaller screen size on the smartphone or mobile device compared to a computer screen. This is explained in the last page of this document. Once again, this first section identifies the process for registering a beneficiary of long-term services and supports who will use the Relay Health PHR on his or her own behalf. This is a one-time process that does not need to be repeated. The beneficiary will receive an email message that contains a hyperlink to begin the registration process. This is an example of how the message appears in Gmail. It may appear slightly different in other email systems. To get started, the beneficiary clicks on the register link to begin registration. Beneficiary clicks, "This is for me." The beneficiary clicks, "Register me." In this illustration, beneficiary is actually the beneficiary's first name. Next, the beneficiary enters his or her birth date to verify identity. Contact the Ottertail County case manager if an error message is displayed at this point. This means that the birth date entered does not match the Department of Human Services records. Do not change the information on this screen. If it is not correct, contact the case manager. If necessary, the Ottertail County case manager will make the changes with the Department of Human Services. Moving forward, beneficiary clicks confirmation of terms of use and privacy policy, then clicks next. Beneficiary clicks next to continue with registration. Beneficiary confirms the username and creates a password. The username defaults to the email address. Although it can be changed as desired by the beneficiary, we recommend using email address to minimize possible confusion. The beneficiary selects security questions and enters the answers to be used to validate identity if the beneficiary forgets the username and/or password. The beneficiary clicks Login to complete the registration process. Now the beneficiary's Personal Health Record, PHR, homepage is displayed. The remaining pages will explain the major functions in the Relay Health PHR portal. Now that registration is complete, you can click on Messages in the gray area to see the beneficiary's automatic Getting Started message within the PHR. The beneficiary's ongoing use of the PHR is explained in the next section of this document. This is a sample of the message that the beneficiary received in his or her email when the registration process is complete. This section explains how a beneficiary can use the Relay Health PHR when registration is complete. A beneficiary will have his or her own account with no other family members. Usage by a legal or other designated or authorized representative using the PHR on behalf of a beneficiary is explained in a different document. The beneficiary logs in with the username and password that he or she set up in the registration process. This is the main screen for the Relay Health PHR. As noted previously, a beneficiary will have his or her own account with no family members. To illustrate this, click on Health Records, then Manage My Family Members to get the next screen. This shows the beneficiary as the account holder. A beneficiary acting on his or her own behalf will not see additional family members. Messages are similar in concept to email, however they exist completely within the PHR. Click on Messages, then click on a message to display it in the viewing pane. So that brings up a question. How do you know that there is a new message, for example, from your case manager, if you are not logged into the PHR? The answer is that the message from the case manager within the PHR also triggered a message to the beneficiary's regular email address as shown below. The sample below shows how the message appears in Gmail, and it may appear slightly differently in other email systems. Note that there is no individual, personal, or protected health information in this message in order to ensure that the beneficiary's privacy is protected. Click on the reply icon to reply to a message. Enter the reply message text, then click Send. This shows the confirmation that the message was sent. Click Close to return to Messages. Click Sent to show the message in Sent Items. Click Compose to create a new message. Then select the provider from the drop-down list. This screen displays when the provider is selected. Note that provider includes your Otter Tail County case manager. Click Yes, I understand to proceed. Select subject type from the drop-down list. Most of the time, this will be a message to the office staff. Enter the message text, then click Send. And once again, we get a confirmation that the message was sent. This shows the message in Sent Items, similar to email. Click, if desired, to change how messages are sorted in this view. Click on this icon to archive the message to remove it from this view if desired. Note that messages can be saved as archived, but they are never deleted from the Relay Health PHR. Next, Providers. Click on Providers to see this screen, which lists all provider organizations contributing to the beneficiary's personal health record. Click on Privacy Preferences on any line to get to the next screen. The first setting of privacy preferences identifies whether or not your other providers or staff can see that there is a relationship with this provider or organization. The second setting identifies whether your other providers or staff can view medical history and health information from this provider or organization. The standard or default settings are public and public. Please note, however, that public means shared, not that it is available to anyone over the internet, but that it is available only to your other providers and staff in the personal health record. Public provides full access to the PHR, including documents for all provider organizations contributing to the beneficiary's PHR record. Click to change the preference if desired. Please note that if the beneficiary uploads any document to the PHR, any of your providers or staff members will be able to see that document regardless of the privacy preferences. To add a relationship with another Fergus Falls provider organization that is participating in this demonstration project, click on Add Provider or Facility to get to the next screen. In addition to Otter Tail County, participants include the Fergus Falls Community Behavioral Health Hospital, Lake Region Healthcare, Lakeland Mental Health Center, LB Homes, Pioneer Care, and Productive Alternatives. Enter all or part of the provider organization name, then click Search. Zip code can also be used if desired, but is not required. The example below shows a search for Lake Region Healthcare. Click Select for the desired provider organization. Note that since zip code was left blank in this search, other organizations containing Lake Region in their names that are outside the local area are also displayed. This is because the Relay Health Personal Health Record is a portal with other client organizations nationwide. The added provider now shows in the list. Note that status is pending confirmation by the provider organization. Health records. Click Health Records, then click on the desired section of Health Records. For example, click on Medication and Allergies to get the next screen. This screen shows how medications and allergies appear. Click Add to enter new entries. Click on the other sections of Health Records to get similar views. Click Documents to get the next screen. This is a list of documents. The first example, the DHS profile page, will be loaded automatically by the Department of Human Services. Other documents can be added or uploaded by beneficiaries. Click on View within the drop-down box to view the document. This is a sample of the new DHS profile page. Click on the drop-down box to see the functions available for the document. For example, click Download to save a copy of the document to the beneficiary's computer. Documents can be sorted in ascending or descending order in different ways by clicking on the desired column header in this list. In this example, all documents were added or uploaded by beneficiary as shown in source. Documents added by DHS and other provider organizations are identified accordingly. To add a document, click Add to get the next screen. To add a document, first enter the document name. Click Browse to identify the document to be added from your computer. Date of service is optional. Select document type from the drop-down list. Comments are optional, then click Save. The new document now appears on the list along with the confirmation that the document was added. Click Print Health Records to view the entire record. This shows page 1 of 4 pages of the complete record. Click Print if desired for a printed copy. Note health considerations. In this example, Living Will and Advanced Directive are both yes. In this scenario, it is helpful if the beneficiary also adds or uploads these documents. To update personal information, once again, for example, Living Will and Advanced Directive, click on Health Records, then click Update Personal Information. Click on the desired section to add or edit information. Continuing the example above, click on Health Considerations to update Living Will and or Advanced Directive. Do not update name, address, zip code, date of birth, or gender. If these items need to be changed, please contact your Otter Tail County case manager. Update health considerations below by clicking on the buttons. Click Account to get to the next screen. This screen provides the ability to update basic account information, including user ID, password, security questions, and language preference. Currently, only English and Spanish are options for language. Click Edit and Update as needed. Do not update address or date of birth. Contact the Otter Tail County case manager if those items need to be changed. Once again, for use of the DHS personal health record from a smartphone or other mobile device, there is not an app for this. The system works in Safari or any other browser on the smartphone or mobile device. Navigation is different, however, due to the smaller screen size on the smartphone or mobile device. In the illustration below, the three lines in the upper right are known as the hamburger menu. Click on it to get to the functions documented above, all of which work with a smartphone. When an item of health records is selected, you will be prompted to rotate the phone sideways for landscape view. Use the hamburger menu to navigate to other pages or sections of the PHR website. That concludes this training session. Thank you for your participation.